Once upon a time, there was none, and there was none named Nothing, where nobody existed. In this tale, there is no sign of a village, no teacher, no student, no woman, no man, nothing. Because I want to tell a truth you've never heard anywhere, and you won't hear it. Listen up, this story ain't for everyone. It's for a select few who can wrap their heads around it. So, if you don't get it, don't stress your tiny brain too much. Just skip to the next video. Cause what I'm about to drop, the small-minded and the dumbasses won't grasp. This widow's for the special folks, not the whiners who only know how to moan and bitch about life. So, if you're confident in yourself, stick with me, cause you're about to be blown away in a few minutes. But hey, I'll give you a few seconds for those who wanna bail out easily. Alright, you're still hanging in there. I hope you've got a good grasp of what I'm saying and can actually do something about it to shake your own beliefs a bit. Interesting fact, nobody's ever gonna spill their guts to you cause fear of risking their own success is lurking. You might be thinking, what success does this guy have? And smirking at your little brain's attempt. Well, buddy, you're just a pea-brain thinker if you think my job is just there. This is about delivering some real useful info to fucks who actually matter. You might be a tad upset with my bluntness, and hey, I'm okay with that. Cause first, I gotta stir up that necessary feeling in you, then maybe you'll have better understanding of what I wanna say. You know, I had to first activate that feeling of anger and annoyance within you so that you'd continue watching and listening with that emotion in mind. We've talked a lot on this channel about silence and its power, and we've covered some ground, but this time I wanna say this. You shouldn't stay silent everywhere. Silence is golden, sure, but not in every situation or place. It's true that sometimes keeping quiet comes in handy, but you gotta know when to shut up and when to speak. Maybe my bluntness up top got you upset, or maybe some folks bailed on the widow right away. But what I wanted you to know is that you don't have to stay silent when someone disrespects and you show no reaction. Sometimes not reacting and staying silent is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. I'll explain in detail later on where to stay silent and where to speak up. But before I continue, I wanna hear your take on how you'd respond if someone disrespects you or what you do in that moment. Be sure to drop your thoughts in the comments so we can have a little chat. You know, not speaking up and staying silent in the wrong places can cause some serious damage. It doesn't matter what situation you're in, whether it's in life or in the business you're in. Just as staying silent is important in its place, speaking up is equally important. What I mean is, many times things have happened to us where our silence at that moment have caused us a lot of harm. You know, speaking up and standing up for yourself against the jerks out there is one of the most important things anyone can do. Here, we're not talking about gender, because we don't separate genders from each other, and this applies to both equally. Here, I'll give you several different examples where staying silent in those situations has led to a lifetime of ruin and regret. And after that, we'll talk about how to make your voice heard louder and speak your mind more easily. Consider a girl in her late teens, 18 or 19, who's head over heels for someone she knows, but she can't muster the courage to speak up. Then, in a tragic event, she loses her older sister. It might sound a bit twisted for the story, but what I mean by all this is don't rush into the things. Alright, so her sister had two kids, one 8 years old and the other just 1 year old. And based on their smile-minded and pea-brain thinking, the girl's family handed her over to the other girl because they didn't want her to be a stepmother to their grandkids. Now, you might think saying silent in this moment is a good move, right? It's been 10 damn years living like this. But she still hasn't forgotten her love, and that guy hasn't tied the knot yet either. Maybe our girl here, instead of living a peaceful life, has created a hate-filled one for herself and is tearing herself apart. With all these illnesses and pains she's brought upon herself and the suffering she's endured, you might blame her family, but it ain't like that. Staying silent in the wrong place can ruin a lifetime. She could have stood up to her family, spoken her mind. In these situations, you gotta have the guts to speak your heart out. You gotta stand up and speak your mind completely. One reason you stay silent in these situations is that fear inside you, and that fear makes you feel emotions that hold you back from speaking up. But my friend, let go of that fear, because when you're in a situation where something heavy like life is at stake, you gotta mouth off to whoever's in your way. If you're serious about the decision you're making, don't let fear stop you up. Our girl in this story might have a physical body, but her spirit, her zest for life is dead. Only death complete her. Regret ain't worth a damn, cause you believe in and stand by what you're doing. So, why the hell are some people making decisions, but then say they don't do it? Because they're scared? If it's in your favor and ain't causing harm, why the hell ain't you doing it? Because in the end, we all die, man. So, try to get straight into the heart of fear. Break it down and mouth off to whoever's making you more scared. Interesting fact. After years of severe depression and shedding tears, our girl tried so much for her lost love that her eyes got messed up and forced her to undergo surgery. Before I say anything else, it's important to know that shedding tears ain't gonna do you any good. I don't give a damn whether you cry or not. Cry for all I care for a whole damn day. But ain't nothing gonna change, cause a person who ain't got the balls to do anything ain't got nothing else but crying. So, shedding tears is useless. When good things happen to you, ditch the fear and mouth off to whoever and whatever's in your way to get what you want. You might wonder where our girl ended up. She had nowhere else to go but to end her life. She either had to burn and be burned or put an end to her own damn life, unfortunately making a not so good decision. Damn, this part's gonna be emotional and sad, so convey that feeling of sorrow. Well, this was an example where not speaking up led to these painful events. It's a real life example that keeping silent in the wrong place can cause a lot of damage in life. Another example is when you consider a man working for a company where his rights are violated and he doesn't get what he deserves. And he fears losing his job, turns a blind eye. If someone tries to undermine your rights, stand firm. Don't be afraid, even if it means losing your job. Confront them and teach them a lesson they won't forget. It's okay to speak up when you want to get things done, and in these cases, you have to speak up. If you stay silent, you're just betraying yourself. Silence sometimes leads to self-betrayal. Later, you wonder why you're not making progress in your work. Well, you have to set aside fear and speak up, having no fear of what the future holds. It's interesting to note that silence in the wrong places can lead to both work and life problems, creating significant hurdles. When you can express your desires easily, you won't encounter any problems. If someone stands in your way and you can't talk to them, it's time to teach them a lesson they won't forget and prevent anyone from becoming an obstacle. Breaking the silence starts with overcoming fear. I said, when the time comes for all of us to die, we all leave this world one day, so you'll live without a word. So, before you leave, it's better to enjoy the world. Fear of death is no greater than anything else, and there's no reason to fear. Another thing I want to say here before continuing is what to do to break the silence. I've seen many people say they didn't say anything to save face or because of family. Family? Who cares about family? You came into this world alone and you live alone. Why have most of you limited yourselves because of relatives or acquaintances? Well, what's the point if you live to be 80 or 90 years old? More than half of your life will be spent on work, and the golden age of your life between 18 and 35. Don't be upset about it, to refrain from saying something because it'll upset them. We came into this world to live the way we want, to go the way we want, or to do anything else we've prepared for ourselves. The second step is facing anything and anyone. Go ahead, tackle your fears before they tackle you. Prevention is always better than cure. So, confront your tears before they confront you. Once you succeed in the first two steps, the third steps become easier. The third step is building your thoughts because your thoughts are crucial in boosting your speaking abilities. Break the frames set by your family and go beyond. Be adventurous and pursue what you're passionate about. Our life is shorter than spending years imposing rules and regulations on ourselves. Enjoy it, come and experience it. One important thing to understand and never forget is knowing when to speak up and when to stay silent. If speaking up somewhere would harm you, definitely stay silent. But if staying silent would harm you, then speak up for yourself. The fourth step is controlling your emotions. It is crucial to be able to control your emotions when speaking, because speaking when you're upset and wanting to cry is better left unsaid, as it makes you appear weak and your words have no impact on them. It's better to assertive and firm, even in special circumstances. Always try to resolve issues through communication. If you find yourself in a situation where talking doesn't solve the problem and the other person is being unreasonable, don't hesitate to speak up firmly so they don't play these games with others in the future. Maybe you're asking, well, it was interesting, but where's the secret in all this? Just as I said at the beginning, understanding this story might be a bit tough for you, but I'll summarize and say, what does it have to do with success? Listen up, folks. One damn crucial thing about making it big is having some damn backbone and not taking no crap for anybody. It means having the balls to speak your mind without sugarcoating it, ya dig? But let me tell ya, being all polite and stuff ain't everyone's game. You gotta shut down any jerk trying to play games right off the bat, so they don't forget who's boss. So, what's the deal with having backbone and being fearless? It's about doing whatever the hell benefits you without getting screwed over. If you can pull that off, you're gonna be damn successful, guaranteed. Now, success ain't some damn complicated puzzle. It just takes a bit of guts and a bit of heart. So, crew that fear and enjoy hustling down the path you wanna take. But let's get real. Ain't no path to success a walk in the damn park. It ain't gonna happen overnight. Anyone saying they struck in rich overnight is full of crap. You gotta grind, you know? The world ain't gonna hand you success on a silver platter just cause you want it. Shit happens, but don't let it kill your vibe or hold you back. Don't let fear call the shots. Just remember, every damn time you're unsure whether to speak up or keep your mouth shut, remember this. If speaking up screws you over, shut your damn trap. But if not, speak your damn mind and don't give a damn about what comes next. Cause let me tell you, sometimes staying silent leads to some major regrets and makes your life a damn bitter pill to swallow. In a world where death's lurking around every corner and there ain't no eternal life, you gotta be one tough son of a gun who ain't afraid of jack squat or nobody.